Not mechanical, human. He opened the cockpit door. "Enough!" he shouted. The word cracked like a gunshot. The cabin froze. Reeves stepped out fully, eyes scanning faces, memorizing them without meaning to. Terror looked different on everyone. "Listen to me," he said. "I know you're scared. I am too. But if this cabin turns on itself, we lose any chance we have." A man shouted back, "What chance?" Reeve didn't hesitate. "The chance that someone on the ground realizes what they're doing." Another voice spat, "They already know." Reeve nodded slowly. "Then the only thing we can control is what happens in here." Bethany Miller stood again, shaking. "Are we infected?" Reeve met her eyes. "I don't know." That honesty hurt more than any lie. She whispered, "Are we going to die?" Reeve opened his mouth, closed it. Connor stepped in. "Everyone needs to return to their seats." Some did, others didn't. From the window, someone screamed. Donna turned and followed their gaze. Far below, against the curve of the earth, a plane was falling, not gliding, dropping. A thin trail of smoke curled behind it like a question mark. The cabin erupted. "Oh my God! It's crashing! They're shooting them down!" Patel's voice came through Reeves' headset, tight. "Danny, we just lost Horizon 844. Reeve felt something break loose inside his chest. "Fuel?" Patel nodded. "Or worse." Dana covered her mouth as the distant flash bloomed, then vanished. The woman with the baby collapsed into sobs. Someone prayed out loud. Someone else laughed hysterically. Connor shouted for everyone to sit down, his voice hoarse now. Reeve backed toward the cockpit, hard hammering. Patel met his eyes. "That was our future." Reeve shut the door. Inside the cockpit, the air felt thinner. 1 hour 20, Patel said quietly. Reeve stared straight ahead. "We're not making it." Patel swallowed. "We could try to land somewhere remote." Reeve nodded. "And get shot down. Or crash anyway." Silence stretched. Outside, another distant plume marked another falling aircraft. Patel whispered, "How many planes are still up?" Reeve exhaled slowly. "Too many." In the cabin, Dana crouched beside the crying woman, whispering nonsense words, anything to keep her grounded. Her own hands were shaking so badly she had to sit on them. Connor leaned against a bulkhead, scanning faces, realizing something else now. If there was someone carrying something deadly on board, fear would flush them out eventually. Panic always did. And when that happened, it wouldn't matter whether the threat was real, only that everyone believed it was. A man stood suddenly, pointing. "It's him!" he shouted. "He's been quiet the whole time." The man being pointed at looked up, stunned. "What?" "He hasn't said a word." "That doesn't mean anything." "It means he's hiding something now." Connor pushed forward. "Enough!" But the crowd surged. Hands grabbed shirts. Someone swung. Dana screamed. Reeve felt the plane shudder as if reacting to the chaos inside it. Patel looked at the fuel again. 1 hour. Reeve closed his eyes. Above the world, with nowhere left to go, Meridian 217 continued to circle, and gravity waited patiently below. The call came through without warning. No preamble, no formalities, just a voice that sounded tired in a way Reeve had never heard before. Not stressed, not angry, defeated. "Meridian 217 Heavy, this is Joint International Air Command." Reeve straightened so fast his neck hurt. "Go ahead." There was a pause, a breath. "We are authorizing disclosure." Patel's eyes snapped to him. "Disclosure of what?" The voice continued, slower now, every word measured like it could explode if mishandled. "There is a confirmed airborne biological weapon in circulation. It is uncurable. It is dormant until exposed to population density. Once released, it cannot be contained." Reeve felt cold bloom behind his eyes. "You're telling me there's a disease on board my aircraft?" "We do not know which aircraft," the voice said. "That is the problem." Patel whispered, "Jesus." The voice pressed on. "A terrorist organization has successfully weaponized a pathogen capable of aerosol dispersal. It can be carried by a single individual without symptoms. It can be released manually at any time." Reeve gripped the yoke. "Then why not ground everyone and search the planes?" "Because," the voice said quietly, "the moment the carrier is aware we know, they release it. Silence filled the cockpit. Patel finally spoke. "So you grounded the world?" "Yes," Reeves' jaw tightened. "And you're letting planes run out of fuel." "We are minimizing casualties," the voice said. Reeves snapped, "By choosing who dies." Another pause. Longer this time. "We are choosing," the voice admitted, "to prevent extinction-level spread." Patel shook her head, tears spilling freely now. "You're condemning us." "We are asking you to hold," the voice said. "We are still attempting identification." Reeve laughed once, sharp and broken. "We don't have time." "You have less time than most," the voice replied. "But if Meridian 217 attempts to land, you will be intercepted." Reeve closed his eyes. "Shot down?" "Yes," Patel whispered. "They just said it." Reeve keyed the mic again, his voice hoarse. "Do my passengers know?" "No," the voice said immediately. "And they cannot." Reeve felt rage flare. "They deserve to know why they're being sacrificed." "They deserve to live," the voice countered. "And if the suspect hears this explanation, they will act." Patel slammed her palm against the panel. "You're turning us into bait." The voice did not deny it. "Captain Reeve," it said softer now, "you are not alone. There are still multiple aircraft airborne. We are monitoring all of you. If the carrier reveals themselves, then what?" Reeve demanded. "Then all other aircraft will be cleared to land." Reeve felt something inside him fracture cleanly. "So whoever it is," he said slowly, "they're holding the rest of us hostage." "Yes," the call ended. No good luck, no apology, just dead air. Patel stared at him. "What do we do?" Reeve opened the cockpit door. The noise hit him immediately. Shouting, crying, raised voices climbing over each other. Connor was already in motion. It happened fast. Too fast. A man 3 rows back had lost it. Big, broad, the kind of size that turned anger into a weapon. He was yanking a woman from her seat, screaming that she was coughing earlier, that she was the reason they were all going to die. "I saw you," he roared, fist crashing into her face. "You're sick," she screamed, hands up, blood already running from her nose. Donna rushed forward. "Stop! Get off her!" The man backhanded her without looking. That's when Connor drew. "Get down!" he shouted. No one listened. The man raised his fist again, dragging the woman by her hair, her head snapping back, her scream turning shrill and animal. Connor did not hesitate. The gunshot was deafening inside the cabin. The man jerked once, confusion crossing his face, then collapsed like a dropped coat. Blood spread across the carpet. Silence followed. Not peace. Shock. Dana stared at the body, her ears ringing, her hands shaking violently. The woman on the floor sobbed, curled in on herself, alive. Connor stood frozen for half a second, then holstered his weapon with hands that did not quite stop trembling. "I warned him," he said hoarsely. Someone screamed. Someone vomited. A child began to cry. Reeve stepped forward. "They won't let us land," he said loudly. Head snapped toward him. "They say there's a biological weapon on board one of the planes," he continued. "They don't know which one. If they tell us more, whoever it is might release it." A man shouted, "So we're just collateral?" "Yes," Reeve said. "That's exactly what we are." The honesty detonated. People screamed, cursed, prayed. Some laughed. Some slid to the floor, rocking. Dana covered her mouth, tears spilling freely now. Connor leaned against a seat, breathing hard. He had killed before, but never like this. Never in a metal tube full of civilians who would remember it forever. Reeve looked down the aisle. "If there is someone here who knows something," he said, voice cracking, "this is your last chance." No one spoke. Patel's voice came through the intercom, breaking. 45 minutes. Reeve closed his eyes. Outside the windows, another plane fell. Inside, fear finally curdled into something darker. Time. And there was almost none left. The cockpit door closed softly. That sound alone felt final. Captain Reeve stood at the head of the small galley, shoulders slumped, hands braced against the counter like he needed it to keep standing. Patel sat opposite to him, eyes red, jaw tight. Dana leaned against the wall, arms wrapped around herself. Connor stood apart, back to the door, watching the aisle like something might come for them again. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Then Reeve said, "We're out of time." No one argued. Patel broke the silence. Fuel puts us at 38 minutes. Less if we maneuver, less if we circle. Dana swallowed. And if we hold? Reeve shook his head. We wait. We run dry. We fall. Connor asked the question no one wanted to say out loud. What are the odds that carriers, even on this plane? Silence again. Reeve answered quietly. We don't know. So we might die, Dana whispered, for someone who isn't even here. Patel rubbed her face. And if we divert? Reeve hesitated, then nodded slowly. There is something. They all looked at him. A vacant island, he continued. International waters. No government jurisdiction. No air defense. No population. No infrastructure. Dana frowned. A runway? Reeve shook his head. Beach, trees, rock, mountains. Patel's eyes widened. You're talking about ditching. I'm talking about landing, Reeve said. Controlled. As much as that word can mean right now. Connor exhaled. Survival odds? Reeve did not sugarcoat it. 20%, maybe. Dana closed her eyes. Patel whispered, Jesus. Reeve straightened. Here are the options. We wait and hope someone on the ground figures this out, or the carrier reveals themselves, or this flight isn't the one. Best case scenario, we're cleared to land with minutes left. Worst case, we drop out of the sky. And the island? Dana asked. We don't know what survives the landing, Reeve said. The plane, the radios, the food, the water. We may have nothing but sand and trees and injured people. Connor asked, but we'd be alive. Reeve nodded. Possibly. Patel's voice shook. And we don't tell ground control. Reeve met her eyes. If we tell them, they stop us. They'll order us back into holding until we're dry, or they'll intercept. Dana whispered, that's mutiny. Reeve didn't flinch. It's command. Connor crossed his arms. What do the passengers get? Reeve's jaw tightened. A vote. Dana stared at him. You'd let them decide. They deserve agency. He said for the first time since this started. No one argued. Reeve opened the cockpit door. The cabin was quiet in the way only trauma could make it. People sat rigid. Some stared at nothing. Some clutched strangers' hands. The body had been removed, but the bloodstain remained, dark and unmistakable. Reeve took a breath and spoke. We have a choice. Every head turned. He told them everything he could without giving away what he couldn't. Fuel, in time, the island, the odds, no promises, no heroics. This is not a way out, he said clearly. This is a coin toss. Either we wait and possibly die in the air, or we attempt to land somewhere with a chance, however small. Dana's voice carried through the cabin. If we land, there may be no radio, no food, no water. Help may not come. Reeve finished it. Either we crash in our casket, or we land on it. Silence, then a woman stood, shaking, crying, but standing. I vote island, she said. A man followed. Island. Another. Dana and Patel moved through the aisles, counting hands, front to back. Back to front. Some hands stayed down. Some people sobbed and couldn't choose. Some prayed. But when the count was done, it wasn't close. Dana returned to the cockpit, voice hoarse. It's yes. Reeve nodded once. He took the controls. The plane banked gently away from its holding pattern. Patel whispered, they're calling. Reeve ignored the flashing alert. Outside, the ocean stretched endless and indifferent. The island appeared as a dark shape ahead. Trees. Cliffs, white surf smashing against rock. Reeve spoke into the cabin one last time. Brace. The descent was violent. Wind screamed, alarms wailed. The ground rushed up too fast, always too fast. Reeve held the yoke with everything he had. The beach came up hard. Metal screamed. Then, impact. Black. Reeve woke to silence, broken only by fire and waves. The plane lay torn open along the sand, broken but intact enough to mean something. Smoke curled into the sky. People stumbled out. Bloody, alive. Screaming names. Connor dragged survivors from the wreckage. Dana sobbed as she bandaged hands with torn uniforms. Patel collapsed onto the sand, laughing and crying at once. Reeve stood at the shoreline, staring at the empty horizon. No towers, no cities, no voices, just survivors. And far behind them, somewhere in the sky, a passenger noticed. Then another passenger noticed him staring. Then another passenger. Then another. Until they all gathered together staring at the sky now. The captain stumbled over. "Is everyone okay? What's going on? What are you looking at?" And when the captain looked up, he saw it, and his heart felt like it hit his stomach. All of the passengers gathered together closely as they watched. They all dropped to their knees, hugging each other. The captain hugged his co-captain. "It's been a pleasure working with you." "And you too," she responded, as they hugged tight, heads bowed. A missile the size of a bus slammed into the island, vaporizing everything on it, including the passengers and the crew. The end.